What is up, Fearless family? So this video that you're going to be watching is taken from a coaching session. I feel like it's going to add an incredible amount of value to you if your brain is catastrophizing, meaning that your brain is just showing you negative circumstances, negative outcomes, and it's really stressing you out. I hope that this helps you. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jordan Hardgrave. I used to struggle with extreme anxiety and trauma. I am very blessed to say that I was able to heal using a body-based strategy. If you are struggling with trauma or anxiety or anything like that, you need some help, make sure to join the Fearless family. Click that subscribe button. Also, click like if this helps you. Comment if you have any questions, and let's go ahead and get to the video. Number one, there's no such thing as failure. There's only opportunity. A lot of this begins with a restructuring of our foundational belief system as it relates to failure. Scribble out the word failure and see it as opportunity, right? If you start to frame failure as opportunity, then it starts to frame it as a win-win in your mind. It's all about framing everything as a win-win. Because what happens is, because we're wired for survival, is subconsciously your brain is going to give you the worst case scenario. That's going to happen naturally. Oh God, what if this terrible thing happens? But you have to intentionally create an alternative scenario. That's not going to happen naturally. And one of the ways that you do that is you frame something negative as a win-win scenario. That's why I love the good thing that I learned from Jocko Willink, the former Navy SEAL commander. I started to kind of go like fanatic with this saying good and seeing a positive in the negative situation, reframing something bad as a win-win scenario, not denying that it's a bad thing. That's denial. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to say, oh, the bad thing is good. No, the bad thing freaking sucks. It's bad. It's terrible. But what's something good that can come out of it? And I literally, like I told you, I got the word good tattooed on my wrist, because as soon as I started to do this, number one, I started to realize how much that my brain was framing stuff only in the negative. But number two, it started to make me feel unstoppable in life, because the second that something bad would happen in my life, and inevitably bad stuff's going to happen, especially whenever you're an entrepreneur. Elon Musk says that being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. And it's pretty much true. There's so many challenges that come with this. But basically, I would start to say, okay, good. Well, this is building resilience in me. Or good, I learned what not to do, so now I don't have to make that mistake again, right? And all of a sudden, there was a new neural pathway that started to be created as it relates to the negative thing. And once you start to frame stuff as a win-win situation, immediately, bam, stress goes down, right? Because you're starting to see that maybe this catastrophic outcome may not happen at all. The next way that you can start to frame things as a win-win situation is you change your question. Really, what your brain is doing is it's giving you a very negative question. What if this negative thing happens, right? So for you in this situation, it's, oh God, what if I did all this training for this job and I've been perfect outside of the actual interview, but what if I get to the interview and bomb it? So what if you get to the interview and it's just like all the times that it was perfection prior, right? And you ask the question, the counter question, what if the positive thing happens? And then you start to visualize it, because our brain doesn't know how to discern between a movie that's visualized and something that's actually happening in your life. That's why you watch scary movies and your heart's pounding and your thoughts are racing. That's why people are traumatized by movies. Your brain thinks that it's real. So you can use that to your advantage whenever your brain is feeding you with all these catastrophic what if scenarios, because our brain is wired to keep us alive. It's not wired for happiness, right? We're still stuck with a very ancient old brain that's designed for one thing, which is to keep us alive. And we start to ask a different question than this survival question. We start to say, what if that thing doesn't happen? And then we start to intentionally visualize that positive scenario. If you become interoceptive and feel what's happening in your body, you're going to feel yourself calming down. And now whenever you think about that, instead of just thinking about the negative thing, suddenly, bam, oh yeah, but there is this other possibility as well. And even just having two counter possibilities alone will instantly reduce stress. But it's whenever you've got this, where your brain is really giving you tunnel vision, only seeing that one outcome, that's whenever you start to get stressed. Because if there's only one outcome, then it's almost as if it's already fact. And whenever something terrible and catastrophic is already established as fact by default of not having any secondary outcome, well, that appears to be your future. And whenever you feel like there's only a negative future, how do you think that's going to make you feel in your nervous system? You're going to feel terrible. But all of a sudden, if there's another positive outcome, you're like, oh, well, maybe there is a positive future. Maybe things will work out.